Hey guys, it's Sully, and I'm going to do a walkthrough for Monochroma. I've just completed this game, so I'm kind of going back through and playing it a second time to put together a video showing how to get all the achievements. What we're looking at is playing through a pretty straightforward puzzle platformer. There's 13 achievements. 5 are related to progression, unmissable. 5 are for dying in specific ways. I would say they're unmissable, but I guess it's possible you could get through the game without dying these specific ways. 2 are for completing random tasks, and 1 is for collectibles. There are 16 flowers hidden throughout the world that are somewhat off the beaten path that you need to find, and apparently that achievement is kind of glitchy. And people are reporting that you need to find all 16 flowers in a single session. Whether you do that in a single session as you play through the whole game and get them all that way, or what I ended up doing was I played through the game in a couple of different sessions and the achievement didn't pop when I got my 16th flower, so I used level select and played through each section up to the flower in that section. And then when you find the flower, a little notification pops up and then disappears a few seconds later, and after it disappeared I simply paused the game and loaded the next section with the next flower, and about halfway through the game the achievement popped for me. When I say about halfway through the game, halfway through the sections of flowers, and I'm guessing that's because I had gotten the rest in the current session. So it seems to be that if you exit the game it forgets your collectible progress, but it should only take you a couple of hours tops, an hour and a half, 2 hours to play through the whole game if you follow the guide, or maybe 20 minutes to use the guide and go through and get all the flowers. So just be aware of that. And other than that, we'll get started. No, I'm not going to do it, but the first thing you want to do is run to the left and into the water and you'll drown, and you'll get the first death achievement, get drowned, for drowning. And none of the achievements are going to pop up in the video because I've already earned them all. So you should go ahead and do that right as you get started. There's plenty of other places throughout the game for you to drown, and when I say plenty, I mean several, so you could certainly get it later intentionally or otherwise, but you might as well just get it out of the way now. And then we'll continue along to the right and learn the basic controls. I play with the D-pad. I find it easier than the joystick. You get your run, your climb, your jump. You're going to learn how to swing here on a rope. Get yourself some momentum, and I didn't make it. Classic. I don't remember this being so difficult initially, but I feel kind of dumb right now. There we go. You have a rope walk. Just be careful when you're rope walking, because if you push down you'll drop off the rope. In some places it might not matter, but in some places it'll result in a death. You can also interact with items, move them. So in this case I'll use B to pull this crate out so I can jump up here. And that should get you your first progression achievement, New Beginning, for completing the playground. And now we'll continue in the Outskirts area. You see your brother flying his kite in the background, and the wind is going to pull it away and sort of lead us down the path of our adventure. You want to pull this block off of here and then push it underneath, so when you climb up the cart doesn't tilt. There went the kite, and now we got to chase after our brother who's chasing after his kite. here he is, climbing onto the roof, chasing the kite. Now he's going to fall through, so hang back and let him jump up and down until he falls. And there's a missable achievement here because progression is to go down that hole where he fell. But if you jump over, see the kite up there, you climb up here onto this ledge and jump back, and you should pop the kite achievement for 200 gamer score. And then this is going to also be the first place where you can get the achievement for dying by falling. But if memory serves, I don't want to test it, but if memory serves, you can jump in from around here into the hole, and that'll result in enough height for a lethal fall. But I think there's no checkpoint yet, so I think you'll start over at the beginning. I don't know if you want to chance it. There'll be plenty of other opportunities later to fall and die, but that's your first. Now we start what is essentially the main mechanic of the game, where you have to carry your brother for the bulk of the game, and when you've got him, he can't jump as high, essentially. And a lot of the puzzles require putting him down. You'll see here now we're told we can leave brother, and you can only leave your brother where there's light shining down. You can't leave him otherwise. So we've got to put him down so we can climb up on top of this cart. And if we were carrying him, we wouldn't be able to jump high enough. And then we can jump over here to the ladder and climb up. And then we can push a block down. This would also be a place where you could fall to your death from here and get that falling achievement. I'm 99% sure there's a checkpoint as you entered this room, so this is probably the safest place to do it. So I'll jump over to the chain and slide down as to not die. Now what I'm going to do before we continue, to proceed, we'll pick up the brother and jump over the minecart from the block. But I'm going to come over here to the first collectible, hoping I pushed it far enough. And climb up. And this is the first of 16 flowers. As I approach it, you'll get a notification, secret found, the flower will bloom. We can make our way back down. Should you die after getting a flower, and before you reach a checkpoint, and the way you'll know is if the checkpoint you start on is before you got the flower, you definitely want to get the flower again. So I'll move the block into place, pick up the brother, climb up, and head over to the next room. Now there's light shining down, so I'm going to put the brother down. These ramps are too steep to walk up, and I couldn't make that jump while holding brother, so I had to set him down. And now I can climb up this chain, and then jump over to the other chain. And now I've created another location to put brother, and I need to do that because what I'm going to do is make a minecart come down here, and it'll kill him if he's still sitting there when I do that. So we jump up here and set brother down. Climb back up here, climb the chain. From here we can jump over. The progression will be out this door up here, but the game is designed to not allow you to progress. I can't move any further because I don't have my brother. So I'll come down here, jump over, and I'll push this minecart down. And like I said, had I not moved brother out of the way, he would have gotten killed by it. Now with the minecart in the way, I can pick brother up, and we can progress to the next room. Almost didn't make that jump. Haste makes waste. So now we'll fall down here, and we'll be introduced to a new mechanic, which is like a switch or a lever. A switch. So this, if I hold in B, I can move the switch down. It is currently up. And as I move it down, it's going to make that platform move over. So what I need to do is pull this minecart over here so I can climb onto the roof and jump over to the platform. And now we can jump to a ladder. And now we can jump from ladder to ladder to get up onto the next roof. we've gotten through, I don't know, 2 or 3 of the sections in the Outskirts area, and like I said, it's very seamless. You don't even realize you're going from section to section. Make sure you jump before you slide too far down there, you'll die. Now we're going to backtrack into here, drop down, jump over, and then I'll jump right off of here and it'll automatically grab the rope, and I can just drop down here. We've got to go to the left and turn on the conveyor, which will make these logs start moving to the right. And a log will fall down into some sort of wood chipper or grinder, and we can drop down onto the log while it's getting chipped up, and that'll allow us to progress. Oops, nope, I want to wait for this log. I do not want to be standing on it though. So there goes the log, and I will drop down. I've only got a couple seconds to then jump across to this wire and then glide down. I need to set brother down. The next ladder is out of reach, but if I jump to it by myself, it'll pull it down. So then I can now jump to it with brother. Push this tree down. Windmill's gonna get struck by lightning. I think you could let it hit you and it would count as getting killed by fire, but or you could jump on this barrel, I believe, and it would count as getting killed by fire. I just did it in what I believe is the next section, so you could try either of those things if you want and potentially get the fire achievement. I'm going to jump up to this roof for the second collectible, the second flower. And now I need to push the barrel. And that'll let us get on and over the top of this silo. Deep water right here for a couple of jumps, but then you jump off right onto a shore. It's kind of misleading to me at first. I didn't realize it wasn't water there my first time through. Here's some sort of gas station in the end of, I believe, the third section. And this is where I got the achievement for dying by fire. If you pull this lever, it's going to drop that barrel below, and the whole place will catch on fire and you'll die. There's actually an easy way and a difficult way to do this this puzzle, as it were. The difficult way is to set your brother over on the right under the light, drop the barrel, pull the switch so the barrel falls, and then jump over and finagle the lift so it rises up and you can jump over onto the top and then get up there with your brother, which is how I did it when I played through it. But it turns out you can just jump up this way. You don't need to do all that nonsense. And we'll pull this box over so we can get up onto the next room. I believe this is the first place where you can get the achievement for getting killed by getting caught. That's the main bad guy of the game. And what you're going to want to do is jump down here, pull this lever, and if you just wait, he'll come get you, and you'll die to him, and that'll be an achievement. There should be a checkpoint right there, so you might as well just get it out of the way. And then jump through the window once you respawn and play it again. And we're on our way. Now here we have a well, and what we need to do is jump into the well for the third flower. Don't go down too far, you'll fall in the water and drown. So we've got 3 of 16 flowers. And I believe this is the bad guy in his truck trying to get us. So what you want to do is just jump over this. He's going to try to run us down, jump over the second block, and then slide to safety. Press any key. Must be a PC port, which it definitely is. Okay, so to progress here, we need to run out onto this container to make it fall into the water, but you have to get off of it before it falls or you'll die. And once the container's in the water, you can jump over to it. And we've got a series of jumps here. You just want to make sure you jump from the very edge or you won't make it. And then with the swing, you have to come back and then go. You won't be able to jump off of it the first time you swing. And once again, we're doing some jumps that are at the limit of the distance you can jump. We're going to jump over and work our way across this rope. Now I'm guessing if you don't just go, you could somehow get knocked off by that windmill. I don't know, but maybe not. Make our way over to this rope and jump over. And now we have a puzzle. What we need to do here is set your brother down, and then we can jump up here with this switch. Will lower the containers. So I've got to do that, and then quickly pick up brother before the container smashes him. And now we'll be able to get onto that container and back to the switch while holding brother. And then what we need to do is lift the containers and let them go up a little bit of a ways, and then lower it. Then you can jump from container to roof to the other container. And then over. Alright, down below you can see flower number 4 faintly or directly underneath me. And in order to be able to get down there, we need to just do it essentially a standard progression, but then we can backtrack to the flower. So climb up the ladder. There's a big container dangling up here by this rope blocking our path. And we want to jump over to the rope for a second and then jump back to the ladder. And that's going to break through below that bridge and allow us to get over to the flower. And this should be flower number 4. And now climb up the long ladder and continue on our way. I believe we're coming up to the seesaw puzzle where we have to move a couple of wooden blocks in order to orient the seesaw in a position that will allow us to progress. So here's the seesaw section. What we'll do is we'll put brother down in the lights. And then there's 2 blocks over here. The first one at ground level, the second one we have to push down. So I'll pull this crate, I guess, over here. And then I can jump up to the second crate. And I'll push it off. You don't want to drop down there. I think it's a lethal fall, so just kind of make your way across like this. That should be good. Now we just push both crates all the way to the far left side of the seesaw. You may need to pull the first one. No, it worked. Alright. There we go. I feel like I remember that the first block kind of getting stuck and having to jump over and pull it on over like the lip of the ramp. So now that they're here, I can pick up brother, and we can jump up to the platform that we couldn't have reached previously. Long jump. Long jumps are forgiving, even though they're long. It's a long run across the train bridge. And we'll jump down to the rope. And then drop down here. Now what we want to do is, this seemed like too far of a jump to survive, but you do. So jump down here, set brother in the light. And you want to jump earlier than it seems to reach the ladder as you're sliding down that slope. And now we can climb back up, push that little lever down, or that wall down to create a bridge, and bring brother back to the ladder. Slide down the ladder. I believe this is where we're going to get on a boat. And we'll pull the lever in the boat to make it go. And climb over to the stern, I guess. The bow. I don't remember. Definitely the bow. And we can jump across. This room's a little tricky. Basically, you've got one place to set down your brother. You've got these 3 blocks that you can stand on to make other ones move. You don't want to set your brother down because with his weight, this one will lower enough that you can get in here to the switch. Then you want to move the switch down to bring the light to the middle block. And then what we can do is we can set our brother on that block to raise the first block enough so that we can jump to the ladder. So drop down here, set him down. Now that this block is raised up a little bit, I can reach the ladder, climb up, and rope walk across, and you can see there's a crate over there that I can push off. Once we push that crate off, it'll land on that middle block. And then I can carry brother over and jump up to the ladder. I need to pull it away from the edge of the wall or whatever. So we push this off. I was concerned that it was going to kill him on the way down. But it doesn't. It's movable objects are in a different plane as your brother when you've got him set down, generally. I think it's too big of a fall, so I'm kind of backtracking a long way to be safe. Pick up brother. That crate will keep this block elevated. Now we can reach the ladder. Rope walk across. And out and onto the roof. And we'll jump off onto this other rope. And remember, if you push even the slightest bit down as opposed to directly left, you'll drop off and likely die. So just push left on the D-pad when you're doing this. Now we can push down and drop off. From here we need to climb up and jump up onto this block. There's a lot of rope climbing here. This first time isn't so bad, but essentially what we're going to do is jump to that other platform. It's going to raise that heavy block we're climbing above, and then we can jump off of that platform and let the heavy block fall. You don't want to go too far, because if you do, you'll crash into the water. Now it's a long climb back up the rope. And now we'll be able to reach the ladder. I want to make sure we climb high enough as to not whiff on this jump. Alright, here we go. Perspective shifts. You could get off here. It's a dead end. You can get off here, and we will, because there's flower number 5. And then we'll continue up to the top. What we need to do here is, if we can pull down the chain over on the left, it'll raise up that block, that shipping container that's blocking our path. So what we do is we put brother down, and we're going to pull this. I was worried that I was going to pull this back and it was going to kill him, but it'll always stop right there. So we're going to pull this all the way back, and we're going to jump onto it, and then once we jump onto it, we can jump up to that chain. Now I'm just going to kind of swing on the chain, and you'll see as this heavy weight counterweight comes down, it lifts up that shipping crate. I'm going to kind of like swing on here until I feel like that shipping crate is as high as it can go, which looks like about now. And then we need to be quick here. Jump over, pick up brother, which of course takes an eternity. And then jump up and get under the shipping crate. Alright. And continuing along, we have a sort of section where you're riding on this little platform, and there's going to be some like deadly gas. What you want to do is push down so he'll dangle from here, so you're not going to get hit by that thing, and then you need to climb back up here so that gas doesn't get you. And then you need to repeat and drop down here. And then once you're over this platform, you can push down and drop down to it. You want to drop down to the ground level and backtrack to the left. For flower number 6. I think it's 6. I've lost track, honestly. Good job, Sully. got to move quickly here. I believe there's a train coming on the tracks, and we've got to drop down. Yep. And then you want to climb up this rope. And once you get to the top, you can, I think you have to actually jump to get over to the other one. So we'll jump, yep. Now we've got this, we can rope walk across. And then jump over. Now we can get back up on the tracks. And this should bring us to the end of the Outskirts section. And the start of Area 2, the ghetto. And once we actually get into the ghetto area, it should pop you the achievement for reaching the ghetto.